to speak. But start off by telling me just a little bit about yourself, your business, how you kind of got started, what led you to start the business, and just give me a little bit of an overview of you guys.
Absolutely. Hannah, do you want to share a little bit of the story of how it got started?
Yeah, so I was working for a cleaning company for about 2 years over in northern Kentucky. We're on the border of Kentucky and Indiana. And that company did not clean over in Indiana, and that's where we lived and went to church and everything. So our friends from church, like elderly people, would ask me like, "Oh, I heard you clean houses, Hannah. Can you come clean my house?" And I wasn't really able to with working for that company at the time. And so after a while of having many people ask, Caden and I decided that it would be a good time for us to just try it out, see if we can start our own cleaning business over in Indiana. And that's kind of how Genesis Cleaning Co. came about.
And that was a little over a year ago, or almost 2 years?
Yep. So that's been just a year and almost a half. So.
Okay. Yeah. So a year and a half ago, you decided like, let's do it. We kind of took a leap of faith and just said, hey, if it doesn't work, we'll try something else or whatever, but cool, let's do it. And at that time, it was just you. Fast forward a year and some change, like what's the team look like today? Give me an overview of like the business and kind of like the progress and growth and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So Genesis Cleaning Co. It's a residential cleaning business. So we don't service commercial much, just homes and families in our area. So having started this business a little over a year ago, we have grown into a small but mighty team. So it's the two of us, and then we have one friend who cleans with us full time, and then we have two friends who clean with us part time. And about now we're servicing somewhere between 50 to 60 homes per month, or performing that many cleans, that is. Mm-hmm. And about 90% of those are recurring and about 10% are one-times.
Wow. That is, I mean, the name of the game is obviously within residential is recurring. And to see you guys, that's a huge testament to just the way that you care for your customers, the quality of your work. So that's awesome. Okay, let me ask you this. Going back in the memory bank here, when you first joined Allison, obviously you guys were one of the first customers on the platform. It was in its very infancy stages. You've seen it change a lot. Talk with me about, kind of your observations and experiences with Allison. What are some of the things that you kind of gravitate towards as like, hey, this is really helpful for our business and here's why. And then maybe talk a little bit about just like from an overall, staying organized, staying on top of things. How does Allison support you in those ways?
Yeah, well, Allison helps us in a lot of ways.
It really does.
Why don't you share the first thing that you mentioned earlier?
So it's just been so helpful to have like a platform for our cleaners to be able to clock in and out of houses, and just having a place to have a list of rooms for the houses and different notes that we can have on each house for the cleaners to see. Just having something that gives us a place to put everything where the cleaners get, and it's been very helpful.
Yeah, the communication between us and the team is just so valuable. But then I think there's a couple other features that we just kind of go to quite often to keep our business organized. And so one of those features is just the upcoming screen. On the upcoming screen, it helps us to look ahead and plan ahead. We can not only just calculate projected income, but we can also more accurately manage our schedule, just being able to see it in one view. And we're also often referencing like the reports page. Like some of the statistics and stats I shared a second ago would have been a lot more difficult to figure out. had I not had a one-click view to just see those things and again, help to plan accordingly. So the reports page is just really great for some of those stats, and then also finding like revenue and being able to download reports and communicate that with other team members.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. Now, I don't want to say you have to speak on behalf of the team, but in terms of like the cleaners using Allison, what's their overall experience been like with Allison?
Yeah, I think the team's experience has been very positive. Would you say?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think it's been really positive. They're able to look ahead as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of size up their days, and even in the middle of a clean, they've communicated to us that going back to reference different rooms, reference special notes, or reference notes about the customers, and being able to interact with them in their homes has been a huge help.
Okay.
They can kind of plan out their weeks too, so they kind of get an idea like, oh, I'll be working late on Wednesday, or I'll get off early on Thursday, and so it's helpful in that they can schedule things with their families and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Okay, very cool. Well, listen, last question for you. If somebody was considering switching to Allison or using Allison, what would be your word of encouragement or your feedback for them?
Yeah, the first thing I have to say to anybody is just, what are you waiting for? And I don't say that, I say that with all genuineness. Like, seriously, it's a tremendous platform. And something we really appreciate is just not only how excellent your team is working, but how much towards the future your team is looking. There's a very... I have confidence in the direction that you guys in your team are taking it. And I love how it's not just y'all on a solo project, but you also are including the cleaning business owners like us, creating a community, speaking into it. So I think that's helped to build something really special. So what are you waiting for is my first response.
That's so awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot to us. Again, thank you. Like I said, you guys are one of the very first customers that trusted in us when we were what we call alpha, like just super early. And so you guys have seen Allison change quite a bit, and really appreciate, being a part of your journey as well. So